Unfortunately, sometimes when you're trying to make the 53-man roster, you have to make some tough decisions and some tough releases. It's no different in this case. Welcome to Believe Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to another edition of Free Agency Breakdown. We break down every single Buffalo Bills free agent that they pick up for the 2019 NFL season. In this case, however, we're not talking about who was picked up. We're talking about who was released. Before we do that, just a reminder to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and also hit that notification bell. Once you hit the subscribe button somewhere down here, you hit that thumbs up button, pretty much the same area down there. You also want to hit that notification bell because we will be live for the NFL draft. We will be live for every single Buffalo Bills game. And we do go live here and there just to talk Buffalo sports, Buffalo Bills in particular, but we do talk about the Buffalo Sabres, talk a little bit about the Buffalo Bulls, had a rough March Madness tournament, but hey, it's good to see us there. And also Buffalo Bulls football. We'll see what happens with them losing 3 key players this NFL draft as well. But in this episode, we are going to talk about Chris Ivory, running back formerly of the Buffalo Bills, who was released on Wednesday, making it official. Again, the writing was on the wall for this one after we signed Frank Gore in free agency. You talk about Chris Ivory, you're talking about a guy spent 1 season with the Buffalo Bills, previously of the Jacksonville Jaguars, past 3 seasons, unable to eclipse that 4 yards per carry mark. So you see him begin to decline more and more. And you see that with a lot of running backs after they hit that 30 number. So it's not a huge surprise. You know, if you are a fan of the channel and if you've watched some of my previous episodes, you know I was a fan of Chris Ivory in 2018. I really was. I thought he did better than I thought he would. Coming out of Jacksonville, he had a fumble issue. No fumbles that were recovered by the other team in 2018. He had trouble with the ball. The only time he led to a turnover was in that first preseason game when Peterman threw behind him. He tipped it up and went right into the linebacker's arms, and he caught for an interception. That was the only turnover that I felt like Chris Ivory had a part in the 2018 NFL season. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comment section below if you're like, wait, don't you remember this play? But that's the only one I can remember. So going to Chris Ivory's stats, again, only spent 1 season with the Buffalo Bills, averaging 3.3 yards per carry. You're talking about 115 carries for 385 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. He also had 13 receptions for 205 yards. So he did flash a little bit out of the backfield, but that's something Frank Gore can do too. And, Frank Gore is also a great running back when it comes to blocking for that quarterback. And we all know we need someone to block for Josh Allen. And if Frank Gore helps with that, then that is a good reason to pick him up. So, we do know that there's room in the running back room for 3 to 4 good running backs, right? But you can't have 3 running backs over the age of 30 years old. I mean, we had 3 of the top 4 running backs as far as age was concerned on our roster. And you just can't keep moving forward like that. So now this opens up a roster spot at the running back position, which we did sign a young running back, but mostly for special teams. I'll talk about that in a future episode. So again, hit that subscribe button if you want more Buffalo sports content. But we also want to make sure that we get some young running backs in there, right? Someone to learn from LeSean McCoy, someone to learn from Frank Gore. Because remember, LeSean McCoy's contract runs out at the end of next season. And Frank Gore was only signed to a 1-year deal. So that means his contract runs out at the end of next season. So what does that mean? I mean, you can't have 3, because again, Chris Ivory's would have run out at the end of the next season too. So who would have been there next season? Nobody. There would have been no one. The cupboard would have been empty, and we'd be looking for running backs. And now in this situation, we can draft a running back to learn behind these guys. And again, I'm not saying anything bad about Chris Ivory. I liked Chris Ivory in 2018. I really did. Again, not leading to many turnovers on the offensive side of the ball. He did his thing. You can't blame his numbers solely on Chris Ivory, because if you look at LeSean McCoy's numbers on the other side, his drastically dipped down too. So you wonder how much of that is offensive line, how much of that is his own play. But the Buffalo Bills GM, Brendan Beane, coaching staff, Coach McDermott, they had to make a decision. And that decision is that you have to move on from a guy like Frank Gore. Frank Gore, from Chris Ivory. Us cutting Chris Ivory saves us a little over $2.1 million, which I talked about in the Frank Gore signing episode. And so releasing him actually covers us signing Frank Gore for $2 million. So that's a good thing there. You get a little better at that position with your running back 2 position, and it costs just a little bit less. So pretty much the same amount. Frank Gore averaged over 4 yards per carry last season. And again, a great running back to help block in the backfield for Josh Allen. You're talking about a guy who's been seen every type of situation. He was in San Fran when they made their Super Bowl run, and he's been with San Fran when they had horrible teams. He was with the Dolphins last year, didn't make the playoffs. So he's seen a little bit of everything, okay? And we also saw him just 2 years ago again with the Colts. So he's been a journeyman. So again, the Buffalo Bills release running back Chris Ivory. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As far as running backs that the Buffalo Bills have looked at potentially drafting, we haven't had any come in for a visit, but we did ask for a private workout from Singletary from Florida Atlantic, I think it is. You'll tell me when I'm wrong in the comment section. But yeah, so Singletary was asked for a private workout session, and then we did talk to a guy we all know that I'm a huge fan of, and that's Bryce Love from Stanford. We did talk to him at the NFL Combine. So those are the 2 running backs that we have talked to at least going into this 2019 NFL draft. So this kind of opens up possibilities to draft a running back day 2, maybe early day 3, someone who can learn from LeSean McCoy, someone who can learn from Frank Gore, and then next year be able to take over. So again, guys, tell me what you think about us, the Buffalo Bills, releasing Chris Ivory after 1 year of service. Again, signed a 2-year deal last season. We saw him play in 1 year, 3.3 yards per carry, a few catches out of the backfield, but nothing too productive. So again, I'm not upset about this. Again, the writing was on the wall about this when we signed Frank Gore, that we were probably releasing one of our running backs, and it was probably going to be Chris Ivory. Give LeSean McCoy another shot, since he's been a Pro Bowler for us before, had one bad season. And again, you can't blame everything that happened to Chris Ivory on Chris Ivory, right? You look at LeSean McCoy's numbers; they dipped down too. So how much can you blame on Chris Ivory? How much can you blame on the offensive line? How much can you call on play calling? That's all things that you have to question. But I'm sure Chris Ivory, there's going to be a team out there that's going to sign him, okay? Because he is serviceable. He absolutely is. But he's not going to be serviceable for the Buffalo Bills, who again just signed Frank Gore, who have LeSean McCoy and now are looking to get maybe a little bit younger at the running back position. So again, the Buffalo Bills release running back Chris Ivory after 1 season. Best of luck to him. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Again, hit that subscribe button, like this video. We're going to cover all Buffalo sports. We'll be live for the NFL draft, so you want to hit that notification bell as well. Like this video, subscribe, leave a comment. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Again, the Bills just signed another player. I'll be doing a video on that directly after this, so look forward to that as well. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.